Biology Sciences sonra Avuda National Academy of Science, Şeker Regional Scientific Center. And I want to present my presentation about the fibrin and sericin in Saturnia Pyri cocoon. Yes. The white silkworm, the giant peacock Saturnia Pyri, is one of the forest insects, most from the family Saturniidae, that produce white silk. However, there are specific producers required to extract silk fiber from cocoons. This study assessed the physical characteristics of Saturnia Pyri cocoons and outlined a manipulation for silk fiber extracting for use in sericulture. Saturnia Pyri cocoons were grown in our sericulture laboratory, or the RC, by semi-free cultivation of silkworm larvae, also not that in natural forests of Başlabalut, Şeki, Azerbaijan, and had been collected the first pair of moths in 2019. Saturnia Pyri cocoons were brownish and rough with a noticeable open hole surrounding brush-like filaments at one end. Cocoon is a unique and natural biopolymer formed from silk fibers and secreted by the silkworm caterpillar silk glands during the spinning of the cocoon to protect and preserve the genus. In general terms, cocoons of silkworms of the order Leptoteria can be divided structurally into two types, simple and double. Cocoons of Saturnia Pyri and Bombix mori are simple, you know it, and so the shape, size, structure, and properties of Saturnia Pyri cocoons, like other non-mulberry silkworm cocoon, differ from Bombix mori sharply. The diversity of genus, habitat, nutrition, and life cycle should explain the various of characteristic properties. Okay, I try it. It's known that with the help of process called softening or deguming of silk fibers, cocoon treated is ordinary water or special aqueous solution is freed from sericin, which then passes into the solution. Moreover, as part of the deguming process, it is necessary to account for such physical characteristics of cocoons as color, shape, and weight, which affect the quality of the silk fiber. Recent studies have shown sodium carbonate as one of the most effective deguming agents on wild silk cocoons, but little is known how long Saturnia Pyri cocoons should be processed for quality refining and good extraction or filament and yarn to make appropriate materials. Therefore, the study aimed to explore the physical characteristics of Saturnia Pyri cocoons and develop a deguming protocol with ideal boiling and steaming time to extract silk fiber from its cocoon using an aqueous solution of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. In addition, we also calculate the percentage of cocoon shell and fibrin content. Collection of cocoon samples during the experiment, the cocoon of wild silkworm Saturnia Pyri were collected for silk fiber extraction from the silkworm breeding laboratory of our scientific center, and during the spring and summer feeding season of 2022, all subjects of work were identified visually by Assistant Professor Aliyev Pyri and 2019. The Pyri cocoons were not prepackaged and direct for the control were used one small cocoons of the genus. See them for obtained from the spring rearing season in 2022. Observation of the cocoon physical characters. Physical characters microscope normally, and the weighting is network leather. And sorting and softening of cocoons. First, healthy cocoons were selected, then cut open with a sharp and free from the pupa and all pupal debris and other foreign material. Then the cut cocoons were transferred to a thermostat at 105 centimeters until constant weight. After drying, the sample have placed in the desiccator. The percentage of silk later have determined by the cutting the cocoon and weighting the cocoon and shell separately. The percentage of cocoon shells calculated from 200 number of cocoons of different size selected without defects. So the total number of male cocoons was 56% and male cocoons were 44%. To determine the amount of Pyri, 50 randomly selected elite cocoons of Saturnia Pyri, free from pupa, with a total weight of 20, nearly approximately 20 grams were used. During heat treatment, cocoons float off the solution surface, which leads to uneven softening to ensure homogeneous boiling. 20 grams of perfect cocoon shells were placed in 500 centimeters containers and boiled in the aqueous solution of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate at a concentration of each substance of 10 grams per liter. The cooking process consisted of two stages, boiling and steaming. For better learning of reaching the person from the shell or the cocoon have been tested various boiling times and the prepared solution of sodium carbonate and bicarbonate 10, 15 and 20 minutes, as well as steaming times 30, 45 and 60 minutes for boiling. The cocoons produced by the silkworm Saturnia Pyri were brown in color, regularly shaped, pearl-shaped, you can see in the figure. At the sharp pole had an inclusion hole about 3-5 millimeters with parallel fibers projecting outward along the hole. Also, Saturnia Pyri cocoons have several layers parallel to the surface with tracing bonds between each other, which is destroyed only by a specific process, the softening of the cocoons. The layers are mineralized with calcium oxalate, and there are small gaps between the layers. Also, cocoon fiber are additionally stabilized by vitamins obtained from the host plant. It's known that small cocoons have a highly porous non-bone structure, but Pyri cocoons have very low porosity, and the fibers are thinly packed and formed by an almost conditioned film of silk. The categories of Saturnia Pyri in this research work to obtain an experimental batch of cocoons prepared with cherry leaves for an hour. One of the significant quality indicators of cocoons is the shell ratio. It is calculated by this formula. According to the data obtained in the experiment, the shell ratio the percentage of the Saturnia cocoons was about 11.43%. Also, for comparison, the shell ratio of raw silk cocoons of the silkworm of the genus was calculated, which averaged 21%. Saturnia cocoons are more massive than other cocoons, so that amount of silk in them is approximately And the Saturnia cocoon silkiness is also not interior to the silkiness of the oak silkworm and Pyri. One of the most famous and widely grown silkworms in the world, the shell ratio of which, according to research data in some very spread by breeds, is about 60%. And in first table, I demonstrate the weight of the whole Saturnia cocoons and cocoon shell parameters. You can see. Okay. To calculate the percentage of fibrin in the fibers of Saturnia silk, the cocoons, in this case the cocoon shell, were regulated in a solution of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate with a conservation 10 grams per liter. Each analysis has shown that the cooking process of 20 minutes of boiling and 45 minutes of steaming is optional for better unveil and preservation of the natural color and shine of the cocoon. However, unlike the Bombix cocoons, the Saturnia cocoons did not unwind with a single thread. It reeled off well with yarn, and the fibers obtained from different layers of the cocoon had different shades. The outer layer of the cocoon fibers was lighter than the other layers, and the inner layers fiber is darker than others. And quantity in figure 2, the ratio of the silk contents in the layers of the cocoon was 1 to 4 to 1.5 for 3 layers. You can see this is a silk from 3 layers. Outer layer, B medium layer, and C inner. In condition, it is about the Bombix Murray, you know it. The silk fibers obtained after softening were dried to the last weight in an oven, and the percentage of fibrin has been calculated. The results you can see in the table number 2. You can see the fiber content is nearly similar. The results, as seen in table, the indicators of the percentage of fibrin content in silk fiber of Saturnia Pyri and Bombix cocoons are similar. Okay. In conclusion, the study recorded 20 minutes of boiling and 35 minutes of steaming as the optimum softening time for the cocoons. To yield silvery brown silk floss using 10 grams sodium carbonate and 10 grams sodium bicarbonate per liter or water, added the gumming agent. During the experiment, have calculated the shell ratio of the Saturnia cocoons. You can see, and silk fiber, it was 77%. They show that Saturnia cocoons can be processed for natural silk fiber production and offer communities agent to forests an excellent opportunity to enjoy the production of wild silkworm. This study demonstrates that Saturnia cocoons be able to use commercially to produce silk other than mulberry to produce a new biopolymer for using the glass technologies. Also, breeding this wild silkworm will help in the future to allow profit for residents. The developed method for the gumming Saturnia cocoons described in this study can be applied to other wild silkworm species living in Azerbaijan to improve rural farming of wild silkworms and improve the conservation of the biodiversity of the species in this region. You know, the amount of the this butterfly in the environment get decreased in Europe. And you can see Van Gogh's presentation of this mask. Thank you for your attention.
Any questions, please? Any questions? Yeah, Ines. Please identify yourself and give us your question.
Yeah, my name is Ines Ronnefeld and I come from Germany. I have a question which is maybe a bit not exactly to your topic, and I don't know whether you can answer it, but I would be interested in, well, we are talking also on the conference a lot of other uses of silk fibers, not only for textile uses, but also for production of pharmaceuticals or cosmetics or whatever. Do you expect that this species, or maybe also other species that Bombyx mori could be interesting for producing such new applications like pharmaceuticals? Is there any research ongoing, not only on Bombyx mori, there's a lot of research, but there's also research ongoing on these new fields of use with other butterflies?
Yeah. You mean wild species, yeah?
Maybe one, yeah.
Thank you for your question. Yes, and I think why not? Because it's a new issue for us, and we now working under this. And in this study, we get some chrysalid oils, for example, and we get some new varietal the protein powder, but now we don't know about how we can use it in the future, but I think it will be necessary. It doesn't matter. It's this virus kind of mulberry or silkworm or mulberry. In the future, we know about that. We can face all the resourceless in the world. You know that, and why not? It's one of the way for future research, I think.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Next question, please. Anybody else? Any question? I have a question for you. Now, what is the population of this Saturnia Pyri in Azerbaijan? Do you find it to be any endangered species? No, I guess not. But because I know that this species is throughout Europe, exists throughout Europe, and you find it also here in Greece. It's relatively rare, to be honest. I haven't seen it here in northern Greece, but I've observed this butterfly in south Greece, and I know it's relatively distributed throughout Europe. What is the population status in Azerbaijan?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this great question, because in Europe, especially after the global climate changes, the amount of these butterflies completely vanished in the main part of the Europe. In Azerbaijan, it's get to decrease, and in my issue, and parallel doing other issue, I plan how I can conserve it in the forest, in the natural environment, and I think it will be useful. If I have some little time, I can describe about this process. Yes, this species has 5 larval instar, and in a 4 instar, when they are change their color and stay bigger, we transfer it from laboratory, and in this moment we search healthy structure, and we transfer it for them our territory. We know about this territory, and we're doing every time monitoring. How we doing this monitoring is very interesting. It is, it's my idea. We take some white materials under the tree, and we are looking for the amount of species, and exactly, and that time we can see about how many larvae in this trees, which insect, and in which trees the larvae get better.
I know this technique is done also in Japan, where they use the gamma rays. Questions? Yeah.
I want to ask if it is a research in your laboratory between the differences in, if I understand well, between the differences in fibrin that you extract from this kind of, how to say, this specimen, and the fibrin that it is with the common names, I don't know the names. Yes, possible. Yes, I want to know if you have already do the research in differences in fibrin quality, specificity, I don't know what.
Okay, thank you for your question. Yes, the main idea of my speech about that, exactly, because the way or the gummy, this type of cocoons is very difficult, and it is the main idea. It's not about more. It's not get to hot water and you can bring this and you can take some fibrin. It's this way we decide it is a better way to receive some materials like cercin and fiber.
Any other question? Right. Anybody? Right. I have another question for you. Sorry for this. This is very interesting for me. Have you tried using soap, especially in homes where they use mosaic soap? No. During the degumming process, have you tried to use sodium carbonate and soap?
Can you speak in the microphone?
It is each supplement is a carbonate, but one of them, the one hydrogen, another bicarbonate. One carbonate and bicarbonate. We unite
Yes.
about it. We took the
Oh,
10
very
grams. Yeah. No. I'm get to
Yes.
describe about the process. We take here the 10 grams per liter, one of them and other.
Okay.
And after that, we prepare the solution
Yes.
for the gummy. And in this research, we explore that. We discover that they not enough to boil in there.
Yeah.
We must steam it, and we look for about how long it is have to boil down.
So you only test the duration of the process. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Like method.
Yes. Okay. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention.
Moving on to the next one, I think we'll need your help, Zara, here or not?
Okay, I can.
How are you gonna do it?